As tensions escalate over Iran, is one of Mojtaba's key allies now facing a fresh battlefield challenge elsewhere? Has Ukraine uncovered a potential weakness in what is widely considered Putin's most prized missile system? If these claims hold, could Russia's feared Kinzhal missile now be more vulnerable than previously believed? And even as Ukraine touts a major breakthrough, is Zelensky still grappling with a growing weapons shortage on the front lines? As tensions rise across West Asia, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is also intensifying with sustained missile and drone exchanges. A fresh wave of Russian drone strikes was reported across multiple Ukrainian cities on May 1st, highlighting continued escalation. Earlier, on April 29th, dense smoke clouds covered Russia's Perm region following consecutive Ukrainian drone attacks. Ukraine also claimed that 2 Russian naval vessels were struck near the Crimean Peninsula on the same day. According to the Ukrainian Navy, the vessels were targeted using unmanned maritime drone systems during the operation. These developments follow Russia's missile strike on the Ukrainian port city of Odessa on April 28, which caused significant damage. Russia's Kinzhal missile has once again come into focus as the conflict continues to escalate. Ukraine has claimed that it has developed a method to counter the hypersonic Kinzhal missile system. According to a Ukrainian air defense unit, an electronic warfare project demonstrated this capability in a recent test. The unit stated that during an experimental scenario, 58 out of 59 incoming Kinzhals were effectively neutralized. Ukraine attributed this capability to its Lima electronic warfare system, designed to disrupt advanced missile guidance. If verified, such a development would represent a significant breakthrough in countering Russia's hypersonic weapons. Alkiemk said, and I quote, "When we put up our electronic warfare wall, of 58 of 59 launched Kinzhals, only 1 landed. All the rest were suppressed." These antennas were created to counteract a number of EW units that exceeds the number of units in the antenna. In order for the receiver to make a decision, it has to download a lot of technical data from the satellite. We worked out how to load that data in such a way that it pulled incorrect data and didn't update for a long time after it left our zone. Nobody had managed to carry out suppression of 16 and 32 channel CRPA antennas before this, much less at these kinds of distances. End quote. The Kinzhal missile is widely seen as the crown jewel of Russia's advanced strike arsenal, a hypersonic dagger designed to punch through the most sophisticated Western air defenses before they even have time to react. According to a CISS assessment, each Kinzhal comes with a staggering price tag of around $15 million, turning every launch into not just a battlefield signal, but a brutally expensive show of force for Moscow's enemies to reckon with. The Kinzhal is widely regarded as one of Russia's most advanced and strategically significant missile systems. It is an air-launched hypersonic weapon capable of reaching speeds of up to Mach 10. The missile has an operational range of approximately 2,000 kilometers, allowing deep strike capability. It is typically launched from platforms such as the MiG-31K interceptor or Tu-22M3 bomber aircraft. Its flight path is designed to be highly maneuverable, making interception extremely difficult. The system is engineered to evade conventional air defense networks during high-speed engagement. It can carry either conventional or nuclear warheads, depending on mission requirements. Its primary role involves striking high-value targets such as military bases, bunkers, and naval assets. The missile uses advanced guidance systems to ensure precision targeting in contested environments. It has already been deployed in combat scenarios as part of Russia's operational arsenal. Despite its reputation, Ukraine claims the missile may cost closer to $4.5 million per unit, with dozens reportedly used in the conflict. Kinzhal missiles were also used in early strikes targeting US-supplied Patriot air defense systems deployed in Ukraine. With the Lima system, Ukraine further claims it can counter not only Kinzhals but also Iranian-origin Shahid drones.
So you spoke to Vladimir Putin not too long ago. Did you talk to him about
today?
Did you talk to him about the progress in the space area, and what else did you talk about?
I didn't talk about space, no. I talked about Ukraine, and I talked a little bit about Iran. I talked about a few different subjects, mostly about Ukraine, and we had a very good conversation. I think we're going to come up with a solution relatively quickly, I hope.
What does he want?
I think he'd like to see a solution, I can tell you, and that's good.
What involvement does he want to have in the Iran situation?
He told me he'd like to be involved with the enrichment if he can help us get it. I said I'd much rather have you be involved with ending the war with Ukraine. To me, that would be more important because we're gonna have that. Look, we're not gonna let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and we've knocked out their navy, we've knocked out their air force, we've knocked out their anti-aircraft, everything, apparatus, everything they have, their radar. They have very little left, and they have some missiles, a small percentage. They have a small percentage of missile-making facilities. We knocked out about 80% of them. The rest could come very quickly if we don't make a deal. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They know it, and just about everybody else does. And so we talked about that a little bit. He doesn't want to see them have a nuclear weapon either. But I had a long talk with President Putin. I suggested a little bit of a ceasefire, and I think he might do that. He might announce something having to do with that. Did he announce it yet?
No, but I was wondering, I was just going to ask you.
No, I asked him about, even if it's a little ceasefire, there's so many people being killed, it's so ridiculous.
Do you think the war in Iran ends first or the war in Ukraine?
Well, we talked more about the war in Ukraine, but he would like to be of help. I said, before you help me, I want to end your war. So we had a good talk. I've known him a long time. I think he was ready to make a deal a while ago. I think some people made it difficult for him to make a deal, but we talked more about Ukraine.
But which war do you think ends first?
That's an interesting question. You know, coming from you, that's very interesting. Which war would end first? I don't know. Maybe they're on a similar timetable. I think Ukraine, militarily, they're defeated. Okay, you wouldn't know that by reading the fake news, but militarily, look, their Navy. So they had 159 ships. Every ship is right now underwater. Typically, that's pretty good. What do you think, Jared? I mean, it's going to be hard for them to make a naval comeback. Okay, now they have an Air Force. Every one of their planes has been shot down or has been decimated. They have missiles, about 82% are gone, and they have drones, and most of them are gone. Most of the factories are mostly gone, and we have tremendous anti-drone equipment now, between lasers and that new, very special machine gun that knocks them out of the air like flies. And we use bullets instead of $1 million, missiles to knock out a $30,000 drone. So I would say Jared would tell me that with everything you just heard, typically we're in pretty good shape. And in addition, their economy is crashing. Their, as you know, their money, they call it their money, they don't have a name for it. Their money is valueless. They've got inflation that nobody's ever seen before. Other than that, I think they're doing quite well. If you read the New York Times, you'd say they're doing wonderfully because it's fake news. Or if you watch CNN, I mean, you cover it all the time. You think they're doing well. Do you think they're doing well where they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft apparatus, other than what they may have put there? They may have brought in some light stuff during the ceasefire, and we know exactly where it is, so it'll be knocked out within the first 15 minutes.
On April 29th, Russian President Vladimir Putin held an extended phone call lasting over an hour with U.S. President Donald Trump. According to the Kremlin, both leaders discussed the situation in Ukraine as well as the ongoing Iran conflict. Trump later stated that he urged Putin to bring an end to the Ukraine invasion at the earliest opportunity. Meanwhile, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev publicly criticized Trump's role in potential peace negotiations. Medvedev questioned whether the U.S. president is the appropriate figure to mediate efforts to resolve the conflict.